So many people find themselves only ever attracted to unavailable people. And the warning signs would have been there at the beginning of the relationship. But you go for the unavailable person anyway. And then, things don't work out. You get your heart broken. And sometimes you even feel resentful towards the other person, even though in a way you knew what you were getting yourself into. So, why is that? Well, it may not be surprising, but it is very largely down to childhood trauma that you may have experienced, which explains why you have certain ways about yourself today and why you might be attracted to unavailable people. Especially if you would have had certain childhood wounds where maybe your parents or your caregivers would have made you feel rejected. And you would have absorbed that feeling of being rejected, of not having that need met as a child. And growing up, you would have had that feeling that maybe you were not good enough. These inherent belief systems, which you don't realize you carry around, but they still influence you and your decisions. So you go for people who match that subconscious belief system. People who will make you feel like you're not good enough. They won't meet you on an emotionally healthy level. They'll be detached, unavailable where you need them most. And then you will think, okay, if only you can make that person love you or like you, you can overcome your rejection wound that you've been carrying since your childhood, which would have been given to you by your caregivers. You're thinking, if you can make them love you or like you or respect you the way you were not as a kid, as an infant, whenever you had your wound, you might finally feel good enough. You might get that validation that can overcome that wound. So that's pretty much the dynamic that's at play so often with people who go for emotionally unavailable people. And it's not just with romantic partners. It can be in many different ways. You can just be attracted to people's energy generally. And sometimes if you have these core childhood wounds where you felt rejected, not appreciated as a child, you're attracted to the energy of people who are more likely to reawaken that wound within you. So you're attracted to them because it's familiar, but at the same time, you're hoping for a different response from this new person, even though they don't have it in them to give you a different response. So the strategy of trying to find people who carry that same energy, that same way about themselves as your caregivers did, the strategy of getting them to love you, it just doesn't work because those people are unable to love you. And even if for some reason those unavailable people did love you the way you think you want them to, you wouldn't like them anymore because now they're not a match to your energy. You're only a match to the energy of people who are going to hurt you. So you're looking for this validation from these people to fix your past, and you'll never get it. But even hypothetically, if you did get it, they wouldn't validate you because now you consider them as being unable to validate you because they're no longer emotionally unavailable. So if you understand the wounds you carry, you'll stop having unrealistic expectations, or at least you'll have the ability to stop having unrealistic expectations about what people can offer, and you can acknowledge the part that you play. And then you can try to, in time, validate yourself in the right, healthy ways. And you'll stop trying to validate yourself through these emotionally unavailable people.